Welcome to Are You an Executive Who's Frustrated or Stuck? You're going to get so much value out of this webinar today with Marion Brooks. We're really excited to have you here. And we're just going to welcome people as they keep on coming in. So welcome. Give us a quick hello. Give us a high five in the chat box. Hello, Andreas. Good morning. Let us know who you are. Let us know where you're calling in from. Alrighty, more and more people are joining. Hi, this is very exciting. We're going to kick off in 1 minute. Welcome to Are You an Executive Who's Frustrated or Stuck? With Marion Brooks, who is just coming in.
Yes.
Round of applause.
I am here.
Here he is. So really great to have you here, Marion. So we're going to wait another 1.5 minutes and then we'll kick off on time. I know everybody's time is so valuable. We've got people calling in from Sydney. Let us know where else you're calling in from around the world. And yes, so we're going to kick off really soon. Marion, how's your day been so far?
It has been jam-packed and exciting. So it's been fantastic. I've had a number of coaching sessions, some mentoring sessions. So it's been a great day.
Fantastic. Oh, I love it. And we're in for some more fun here. So welcome, everybody. Great to see you here in the webinar. Welcome. We're going to kick off in 30 seconds. Just letting a couple more people arrive. Hi, Neil. How are you? Good morning, or good afternoon, I should say, in Phoenix. Good evening. Good to have you here. Welcome. All right. So we're going to kick off the webinar. Are you ready, Marion?
I am geared up and ready to go. Let's go.
Let's go. I love it. So welcome, everyone. We've got more and more people coming in, so this is very exciting. And we're going to kick off now. So you're in for some real value today. If you're an executive, if you're a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, if you are in any way stuck, frustrated, overwhelmed in your current job, you're in for some real big value today. So here's what you'll learn in our webinar today. First of all, we'll go for 1 hour. We'll try to just stay right underneath that because we know your time is valuable. So what you'll learn is some real giveaway. We'll let you choose the topic, what you'd like to learn. So this is an executive coaching session with Marion, and you get to decide exactly what topic you'd like to cover. Our bold promise is that you're going to get a lot of value out of today, and that you'll have a breakthrough in that area that you would like to look into. So stay tuned. You're in for some treats here with Marion. And here are some tips and tricks on how to get the most out of today. So first of all, be open, pay attention. This is for you. You've dedicated 1 hour of your day to this. So just get your pen, get a piece of paper, put your phone away, really treat yourself to listening to Marion. He's a highly sought after executive coach, and we're really lucky to have him here with us today. Participate, use the chat box. I can see some of you have already started to do that. And make sure you stay to the end because we have a special offer for you that is very valuable. And we're only going to give that away to the people who stay till the end. So welcome again to the people hopping on now. And so it's a 2-day seminar. Today we've got Marion. Tomorrow we have Elise. Elise is great as well. So make sure you hop on tomorrow as well. Same time, same space. So a little bit more about what we're going to delve in today. So now I really want you to have a look at these 3 topics that we've picked for you. These are topics that a lot of executives have been coming to you, Marion, right?
Absolutely. Most common, the top 3 reasons people come to me for coaching.
So what are they? Advance my career. I want a promotion. I want a pay rise. Number 2, help me with disempowerment and overwhelm. And number 3, regain my power, clarity, and give me direction. So we're going to start a quick poll. Let us know how we can help you most. And once we have all the answers there, welcome everyone. So we've got more people hopping on. This is fantastic. Just so you know what's happening, this is a live executive coaching session. You get to decide what we'll be working on today. And so is it going to be advance your career? You want a promotion, or you want a pay rise? Do you want help with disempowerment or overwhelm? Or do you want help regaining clarity and direction and being a powerful leader? So we're going to let you choose from the poll. Put into the chat box where you're calling in from. We'd love to hear from you. Be interactive. This is the way you're going to get the most out of this. And at the end, we've got a special offer for you. So whilst you guys are filling out the poll, Marion, welcome to Viveka Live. It's such a pleasure to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell the audience who you are, why you're so awesome, why we love you so much, and why you're so sought out. Hi, Eva. Welcome.
Well, thank you for the invitation, Katya. I really appreciate it. And I'm really excited to be here with everyone today. So I'll tell you a little bit about me, and then we'll jump right into what you came for, and that's the value. So I'm an internationally certified executive coach. I have over 20 years of experience in the pharmaceutical industry as an executive. So I moved up the ranks, and my background, where I come from, I'm not supposed to be where I am today. So I teach you the tools, no matter what your situation, no matter where you come from. Success is possible if you follow the right steps and surround yourself with the right people. I've led sales teams, marketing teams, training and development teams. And one of the teams that I led generated nearly $1 billion with a B dollars in annual sales. And as I said, I've moved up the ranks to the vice president's level in the pharmaceutical industry. And as Katya said previously, I'm also a best-selling author of the book, What You Don't Know Is Hurting You, The 4 Keys to a Phenomenal Career. And I'm really excited to share those with you today.
And we're so excited, and we'll be talking more about your book and some of your secrets from it later on. So Marion, tell me, and okay, so first of all, we've got some testimonials so you guys can see he is the real deal. His clients say, I've met a number of career life coaches over the years, but none as compelling as Marion. The indispensable lessons that they have learned from Marion have served them. He's a beacon of hope in a dark and challenging time, and Marion's approach to leadership is magnetic. And I know Marion personally over the last couple of years, and I can certify and endorse that that is absolutely correct. And those are just some of the testimonials that we've received from Marion's clients. So Marion, it wasn't always, as you already touched on, it wasn't always rosy on your path to success, was it? Tell us a little bit about what you had to overcome, what were your challenges, what were your accomplishments? The reason being, sometimes once you've made it, it can be so out of reach. It can be so, it's just not available for so many people. But tell us how you started and a little bit about your journey so people can relate to you.
Okay, so I'm going to start at the beginning because I think it's really important. So I was discounted early on in life. As a kid, I was told that I would never be anything, and I'll tell you why. My mother was a single parent. She had 3 children by 3 different fathers. My father has 11 children by 10 different women. So even people in my own family discounted me. I remember being a little boy around 6 or 7 years old, and we were living with my grandparents because my grandparents stepped in to raise my brother, my sister, and I. And I came in the kitchen and someone asked, whose son is that? And when they said my parents' name, I heard the adults say, oh, that boy doesn't have a chance. He won't be anything. So I went to the back and I was crying, and my grandmother came back to me and she said, well, what's wrong with you? Why are you crying? And I said, well, I heard what they said about me and I don't understand. What did I do? What did I say that would make them say something like that about me? And she said, you have to understand that people will put their limitations on you if you accept them. And she finished by saying, I'm a Black woman. I was born in 1915 in Texas, and I went to college. The only limitations you have are the ones that you accept. And so that was the foundation of me understanding that unlimited potential that I have, and making sure that I listen to the people that are building me up versus the naysayers, because there'll be a lot of naysayers out there that'll tell you.
There are a lot of naysayers out there.
Oh, yeah. They'll tell you what you can't do all day. Surround yourself with the people who encourage you and support you and help you to achieve your goals.
That is so true. And Eleanor Roosevelt was one of my big idols in life. And you're smiling. Nobody can undermine you without your consent, is one of her famous quotes. And so we've got another couple of people jumping on. Put into the poll what you'd like to get out of today. Marion is our executive coach today, giving you a live executive coaching experience. So we really want to know what you'd like to get out of today. Let's look at the poll. So advance my career, I want a promotion is the second runner-up, and the largest runner-up is really the disempowerment and overwhelm. So interesting. We are living in very challenging times. Anybody who hasn't voted yet, please put your votes in now, and we're going to be closing the poll soon. So this is your executive coaching session. Let us know what you'd like to know. Put your comments in the chat box. Nia was saying adding additional ways to help executives get it. Nia was an executive coach himself. Welcome, that's awesome. And alrighty, so, haha. Where did the poll go? Here it is. Yeah, this technology is fantastic. So help me with disempowerment and overwhelm. I want to get unstuck. Marion, you say this is one of the biggest problems your clients come to you with, and it seems like it's going to be what we'll be dealing with today. Tell us a little bit about, the polls are changing. Last minute.
Let's hold on.
So now people want pay rises and promotions, which, hey, let's be real. Don't we all want pay rises and promotions? So look, we've only got an hour time. Marion, what do you think is going to work best? Can we touch both topics a little bit so people get the most value, or do you really want to hone into one of those two topics?
I think we can touch on both of them. We can start with the promotions and the raises, and I'll talk about the overwhelm and how you incorporate this strategy that I'm going to give you into really clarifying where you should be spending your energy.
Okay, awesome. I think that works well. Guys, you're getting we're people pleasers here. we aim to please, and so you all get some goodies. Alrighty, so let's kick off. So tell us, what are some of the secrets around people getting promotions? You said once to me, Katya, if you're not in the 1%ers, they get so much additional information. They get so much additional cues, clues, mentoring, and so on. What are some of the secrets that people don't know how to actually get a promotion? And what are some of their limiting beliefs why they don't go for promotions and pay rises?
So it's a really great question, and I'm glad the audience chose it. So what you're referring to is the information from the Harvard Business Review, that only 5% of employees or people in business in general are considered high potentials, and they get access to information, training, and support that the other 95% of people don't receive. Now, if you're a woman or a person of color, it's around 1 or 2% that get access to the information. So That's why I wrote the book, to really share the components. But let's go directly into the raises and promotions. The first thing that you have to do is you have to be clear about what you're doing in your current role. As a leader and an executive, I've had a lot of people come to me asking for a raise. And when I turn the question back around to them and say, okay, so what have you done over and above your current role What have you done to prepare yourself for success in that next role? I don't hear any answers. And so I say, so you want me to give you a promotion or a raise for doing the job that I'm already paying for? So what I ask people to do when I'm coaching my clients, and I've gotten a lot of people raises and a lot of people promotions, is to go in and be very clear about your value proposition, right? I'm doing these things that are my job, and I'm doing these additional things that are over and above. And based on the things that I'm doing over and above, I'm prepared to go to the next level. And this role, so be very specific. I'm prepared to go to this role as a senior director because the criteria says this, and I'm already doing these things. So I'm not just prepared for the role, I'm prepared to be successful in the role. So that's
I love that.
Yes. So you
and Marion, I think that is, I'm just going to pause for a second, and if we can repeat that, what you just said, because I think that was so valuable to be clear on the criteria of the position, be clear on what value you provide and what value you bring, and be clear on what you're prepared, did you say, to do in that role, or what you're prepared, like the additional value that you bring?
Yes, that you're prepared. So you nailed it. And it's the being prepared to succeed in the role, not just get the role. I've seen so many people promoted into positions that they were ill prepared to be successful in. They prepared to position themselves to get the role, but they didn't have the skill sets and the experiences to be successful. Once you can demonstrate both of those, it's really hard for someone to tell you no.
Okay, so I really like that. And I think a lot of people can relate. Give us a little high five, a yes, totally can relate. Who here in the audience has gone for a pay rise, gone for a promotion, and then realized, okay, now that I have it, I'm not really sure I'm set up for success. What next? That's probably then when the overwhelm comes and so on, but we'll touch onto that later. So Marion, give us what's your big takeaway on how to prepare for the success? What steps do people have to take?
Number one, you have to have a clearly defined developmental plan, right? There's the old saying, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. So having a clear developmental plan that outlines exactly where you want to go. I've had so many people talk about how frustrated they are that they didn't get a promotion or that they didn't get a job, and they haven't said anything to anyone about what they are doing to prepare for the role, or that they're even interested. The way you circumvent that is creating a developmental plan that outlines where you want to go, your current strengths, your current opportunities, and an action plan to address the opportunities so you can be successful in the role. That's how you, and then you sit down with your manager, you sit down with your mentors, and you gain alignment. So I'm going to do these things to prepare for this role. You're going to support me in this way. I'm going to take these actions. Now it's crystal clear to everyone. So that's the first step, to get a clearly defined, get clear on what you want to do, and then clearly define your developmental plan and the actions that you're going to take.
I love that. And so what are some of the limiting beliefs that people even have around creating these plans, creating these actions, asking for help? Because I love the language that you used in regards to sitting down with your mentors and saying, this is how you are going to help me achieve steps 1, 2, 3, because that is powerful language in itself. It's assertive. And so I think a lot of people have limiting beliefs around that itself. What are some of the limiting beliefs that people come to you and say, well, around the development plan?
Well, the first thing is people are so afraid of no, they don't ask for their yes. They will make excuses. Oh, that's too busy for me. Or, well, they would never work with someone like me. Prepare yourself effectively. And it's what I do with my clients, is I really prepare them to have very informed decisions and conversations with potential mentors, and how to network effectively, where you show up as a connector and not a parasite.
Love it. And so you were saying the first step is to have a clearly defined plan. I'm just going to write steps. Are there 3 steps in total, Marion?
Yes. Yep.
I'm just going to, can you tell us step 2 and 3? Because I'm going to put them in the chat box so everybody can see them. And then we can go back and break down each and every one.
Okay. So the first thing is the developmental plan. Number 2, you have the plan now, and now you need to gain alignment. So you have to have yourself surrounded by mentors, and you also need to get alignment with your manager. Now, if you have a bad manager that's not supporting you, I can teach you how to get around a bad manager. There are a number of steps to get around a bad manager, but you have to have a network of mentors around you that can advise you and support you. Now, at some point, we have to turn those mentors into sponsors, which is another conversation. But you have to have mentors. So the first step is the plan, then alignment with your mentors around the plan, and asking them for the support as well as guidance on, is this the right plan? Are these the right steps from your perspective? So that's number 2. Mm-hmm. And then number 3, 4, and 5 are take action, take action, take action.
6, 7, 8, and 9, 10.
So many people, like I've worked with people who are mentees or peers, and even I've had a couple of clients where we have a great plan. The mentors have given them feedback, I've given them feedback, and then the self-doubt or, oh, this won't work for me, or, oh, I can't. Those self-limiting thoughts set in and they don't take action. And if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards because someone else is always moving forward. So you have to be able to move past the fear and invest in yourself. And if you're taking action, people support people that are investing in themselves, and they invest in people that are investing in themselves. So you don't have to have a perfect plan. You just have to have a plan, start taking action, and now you're moving in the right direction, and people will be there to support you.
And so, Marion, is it also important to do visible action and communicate that so that your stakeholders actually see? Because I know that some people are quite humble and they're like, oh, okay, I'm just going to spin my little hamster wheel. I'm just going to do the work. It'll get noticed. Is it important to kind of like be the rooster and really like, beat your chest and say, look, I've done this and that? What level of communication would you recommend?
Okay. It's a great question, and it's a very fine line between being cocky, being overbearing, and developing yourself. So for me, what you have to do is you have to make sure that you are talking about what you're doing, but in the right way. So when you just asked that question, you said they work, the worker bee, their head is down and they think someone's going to come with a magic wand and hit them on the shoulder. It's not going to happen. Keeping your head down and working hard will not get you promoted. It will get you lost. So what you have to do, though, is you have to communicate in a way that's engaging. So I'll give you a quick example.
Yeah, perfect.
Katya, I know that you're the person I'm seeking mentorship from. Katya, I know you've done a great job. You've moved up the ranks in marketing, and we have similar backgrounds. I would love 15 minutes on your calendar to just walk through my developmental plan and get your ideas on what I could be doing. I've already done this, this, and this, and I just want to see what else I need to do. So in that situation, what you just did was bragged, but you were asking for help.
But you bragged in a really flattering way because you complimented the person and you lifted them up. So I really like what you did there. Break that down from just a psychology point of view.
So the psychological component of it is that you're going to them seeking help, which has to be authentic. It has to be authentic, because if you're just going to try to use something, but you're not going to ask for a job, you're asking or you're seeking insight. So you identify someone who's an expert and you want their help, right? So that's number 1. Number 2, in the psychological component, you're letting them know, I've already done these things to be successful, and I need your help to move to the next level.
Okay, I love that. Guys, put in the chat box, what are you getting from this? Are you getting value? What thoughts, what limiting beliefs are coming up for you? What is it that you're questioning yourself in your particular situation, so we can answer those questions. And Marion,
just one other question for the group. If you have any questions or you want me to elaborate more on any of the points, let me know as well.
Yeah, just put it in the chat box, all your questions. That's how you're going to get the most value out of today. So what are some of the limiting beliefs around gaining alignment with managers and mentors? Or maybe I should be more precise. You kind of, before you pointed, well, if you have a manager that is causing stress for you, that is not in alignment, or maybe doesn't even authentically want your success, how do you deal with a manager that is either undermining or blocking your success in some way, or is just unapproachable, or for whatever reason?
So the first thing that you do is don't become a victim of their bad behavior. Don't take it personal, because it's not about you, because then you'll start to focus on them and their behavior, and that's your obstacle. I want you to focus on opportunities. Okay, my manager is doing X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to do X, Z, and Y. So now, what are the other options? Who are the other people that I can employ internally and externally to help me on this journey? What are the other options within my current group, outside of my group, and outside of my organization, right? Who are the other people that I should be engaging with? How could I engage with my manager on something that's important to them to show additional value? So just asking yourself the different questions around different options to address the situation versus being fixated on what your manager is or is not doing. I see so many people get lost and become victims of their manager when they can find victory right around.
I love that you're saying that, because the victim and abuser causes a dynamic in itself. So what if somebody already is in that dynamic? What's your advice to them to get out of that dynamic and focus on opportunities? How can they get out and free themselves?
So that question reminds me of the young woman that I was coaching, who actually told me to write a book, and the title was "Is Hurting You," because that's what she came back to me with after. She had a bad manager, so I'll tell this story really quickly.
Yeah, please.
She came to me for coaching. She had a bad manager. She had been in her company for 15 years. They had made some changes. She was like a senior manager, always wanted to continue to rise up the ranks, but had gotten plateaued. New manager comes in. She was a solid worker, but not a high potential. And she told me that the manager was trying to get rid of her. We worked together for 6 months. I assessed everything, and it was a really bad manager. And so I coached her through the 4 Ps. In 6 months, she got 2 promotions, and the manager was fired. Now, I had nothing to do with the manager getting fired, but the key thing that I had you just expose people. Your great performance will expose people's bad behavior. Remember?
Absolutely.
But what happened is that I had to show her where she was losing her power and where she could do some things differently. She wasn't showing up the right way all the time. Her emotional intelligence wasn't where it was because her manager was frustrating her. So when she showed up in meetings, she had a bad energy that other people were picking up on, not understanding the dynamic between her manager and her. So she wasn't showing up as her best self because of the manager. So I taught her how to do that. And we worked on how to work around your manager. So I got her to join and get involved in an employee resource group, because the manager was blocking her ability to be seen by senior management. When she got into the employee resource group, there were a couple of key projects that she actually led. Now she has a senior vice president who wants to be her mentor, and it changed her entire career. So you see how you can have a manager, but there are things that you can do differently that can propel you to success. The key is not to get stuck on the manager.
And you said before, Marion, you coached her through the 4 Ps. What are the 4 Ps?
So the 4 Ps of success are: number 1, performance. And it's the impact of emotional intelligence versus IQ. 80% of your success is going to be based on emotional intelligence. And it's the thing that holds most people back, and they have no idea that they could be doing some things differently.
I love that. So just 1 second before you say 80% is actually EQ. So why are people holding back on their EQ? Because I just like from personal experience, in the corporate world, I was very cautious to, let's not be super emotional about it, too passionate. What are some of the limiting beliefs that people have around bringing their EQ in?
So the EQ is, and this is my definition of EQ, is your ability to manage yourself and your environment more effectively to get better outcomes. So it's not about being emotional, it's about being strategic. So what I always tell my clients when I'm coaching them, bring down the emotion, bring up the thinking, and you will work around anyone, because there are not a lot of emotionally intelligent people. A lot of intelligent people out there, not a lot of emotionally intelligent people. So I teach the 4 quadrants of emotional intelligence and how to manage yourself on one side and your environment on the other side more effectively, and you get much better outcomes.
Beautiful. Okay, first P, performance, balancing IQ and EQ. Second P.
Second P is around perceptions. Within the first 7 seconds of seeing you, people judge you as valuable or not valuable, a resource or not a resource. So you have 7 to 10 seconds after that to either prove them wrong or right. And when you look at the equation for communication, 55% of the equation is based on how you show up aesthetically. Now, it's not right, but it's okay, because you can be intentional around how you show up with confidence, with the way that you dress, with how organized you are. And I've seen people very competent, but totally lose an audience or a group just based on how they show up. So I do a lot of coaching in that area around managing that 55% of how you show up, and only 7% of the equation is what you actually say. But be clear, you have to come with good content. That's just the price of entry, but you have to make sure that you show up appropriately, and confidence is key. So I want everyone to write this down. People are promoted more and questioned less. Confident people are promoted more and questioned less. So the more confident you show up, the more opportunities will be brought to you, because people will view you as a problem solver and someone that they can trust to get things done.
I like it. I love it. So people are promoted more when they're confident. Absolutely. So what are the other 2 P's of success? Performance, perception.
The third one is around positioning. And that's what we talk about, the developmental plan. We're talking about networking effectively. We're talking about mentors and transitioning mentors over to sponsors. So one of the things people don't know or don't realize is that 90% of the decisions that are made about us and our careers are made when we're not in the room.
Yes.
So who's in the room speaking for you is critical. So you have to be able to build those mentoring relationships and then have those mentors transition into sponsors. And the big difference for me, and it took me a long time to learn this, the difference between a mentor and a sponsor is a mentor will give you insight, they'll give you comfort, they'll challenge you, they'll help you. But a sponsor is someone who's willing to put their name behind you. And I've mentored a number of people that I would never sponsor because they weren't serious about their careers.
Right. So how do you turn a mentor into a sponsor?
You do it with the relationship. So number 1, demonstrating strong performance. Number 2, being active, having that developmental plan, taking the actions, doing the action steps that are going to move you forward, and continuing to align with that mentor and foster that relationship where they trust that if I put my name on Katya is going to deliver and we are both going to rise, versus Katya is not necessarily always executing, or I don't know if Katya is really serious about her career. So demonstrating a strong focus on yourself, on your career, as well as helping other people is the best way to turn a mentor into a sponsor.
Love it. And what's lastly the 4th P of success?
The 4th P is around persistence. So No matter how smart you are, no matter how emotionally intelligent you are, no matter what your positioning is, and no matter what your how people perceive you, you're going to run into obstacles. What separates average from exceptional careers are those people who are able to take the knocks, identify an opportunity, and identify an opportunity in their obstacles versus just focusing on their obstacles. I have to say, for me, I've learned as much from my bad bosses as I have from my amazing bosses, because I shifted my mindset and said, you know what? I'm going to evaluate this person because I know I am a leader and I'm leading a team, or I will be leading a team in the future. What can I learn not to do from this person? And just by that simple shift in perspective, I've been able to really control my career. So persistence, as President Coolidge says, is omnipresent. It is the thing that will separate you from the crowd in the long run, because everyone's going to run into an obstacle. Do you become a victim of the obstacle, or do you find opportunity in it? That's the persistence component.
That is so true. And I love what you say, that there's always something to learn in every situation. And you're right. A lot of my strongest learnings as well came from leadership positions or above me, where I observed things that I saw the impact that behavior was having, and based on that impact, I was like, well, that's definitely not an action that I want to take when I'm in that same situation. So that's really, really powerful, that persistence message. So Marion, I want to touch on the feeling disempowered and the drain and the overwhelm and the real anxiety around work as well. So let's wrap up our first component of the executive training, really giving people promotions and pay rises. How would you bring this together in an executive summary of what we've just discussed?
So I would say it this way. Number one, be specific and have a developmental plan. You have to have a developmental plan. You can go to my website. There's information there. There's information in the book and all over the internet. Just get a developmental plan and make sure you have clear action steps that you're working on towards being successful in the next role, not just getting the next role. Number two, identify and surround yourself with good people and great mentors. And your mentors don't always have to be at the next level. Some of them could be your peers, or it could be people that are lower in the organization than you are as far as title is concerned, but have a certain skill set or something that you can learn from. Number three, take action. And we talked about that. That's number 3 through 10 is take action, take action, take action. The other thing I would say to wrap up getting a promotion and getting a pay raise is you have to be specific. Don't go and ask for a raise. I've had so many people come to me and say, I deserve a raise. And I was like, okay, it's 25 cents. That's a raise.
Be careful what you ask for. Exactly. That's so true.
But if you're going to ask for a raise, go ahead and be very specific and say, I would like a raise of this amount based on my research and what I've been doing. Now you see what I mean? You've evaluated what you're doing in your current role. You evaluated the market and what's being paid for that role externally, and that's why you feel that you deserve a raise versus I deserve a raise. So be very specific and don't ever ask for a raise. Ask for a specific amount.
That's so true. And so lastly, to wrap this question up, guys, if you have any questions in regards to asking for a promotion, getting a raise, please put it into the chat box now. Elise is saying, wonderful content, Marion, loving the distinctions between mentors and sponsors, and she's getting so much value out of this. So please give us any feedback, give us a high five, give us a question, let us know how you're doing. And my final question, which probably some of the members in the audience have as well, how realistic is the number, the specific request? Do you recommend going over or being on the money? How to best present your first ask, because it's always a negotiation.
I love it. So what I say do is be realistic. So you should go to Glassdoor or wherever so you can really evaluate what people are being paid for what you're doing right now. And then you can actually refer your HR person, your manager, or whoever is making the decision to those places to say, this is where you can get the information. I feel like I have earned it based on what I've seen everywhere. How do you see it? Now, this is the big thing with that. A lot of the times they will say, well, you know what? It's past the window, or we're not giving out any raises right now, or this is happening in the organization. And now this is where the developmental plan comes in. And you say, okay, I understand where we are today. What would you need to see from me over the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months for me to be positioned for a raise of this amount based on what's happening externally? Now, do you see?
I love that. So you're actually holding them accountable.
Yes.
To the promise that they have made, or basically the information that they have given you, not the promise they've made. That is so powerful, Marion.
Yes. And so that's the way that you do it. It's all about being specific, being prepared, knowing what you're bringing to the table, knowing what your value is, and knowing what you're asking for. And then bring the number down, and it might not be. The other thing I would say with that before we wrap up that component is know that there are other options out there. So if you can't get what you want in your organization, don't start demonstrating bad behavior. Don't get all frustrated. An amazing job at your current job as you start to evaluate what's available for you externally.
Yes.
So make sure
that is such good advice. Because I think you can get very much stuck with the blinders on and like focused on the banana in the cage, whereas there's trees all around you where you can just freely get the bananas behind you, right?
Yes, and I'm sorry I cut you off. Go ahead, Katya.
No, that's fine. I summed it up.
And I was going to say, and your energy either attracts good stuff to you or repels it from you. So making sure that you don't get so caught up and angry, because some organizations are just not going to do what you need. And so that's where I talk about in my e-course that we just launched last week, how to activate your network. Because sometimes it's time to activate your network, but you have to have a network beforehand. So that's where appropriate networking and mentors and sponsors come into play. I've been in situations a few times in my career where I had to activate my network to move forward because I was stuck behind everything that was against me. But I always know there's another option if you've done your work.
Yes, there is. There's always other options, and love what you're saying about the energy and how we are a magnet or repelling what we want to actually attract. So the poll results clearly said that people really are interested as well in dealing with overwhelm, frustrations, anxiety. Marion, can we get your expertise on that, please?
Yes. So I would say one of the primary things is stop trying to be everything to everyone.
Amazing. Can we just repeat that again?
Yes. Stop trying to be everything to everyone. So
can anybody relate in the chat?
Yes. I've lived my whole life as a people pleaser, trying to be everything to everyone, and then I'm empty at the end of the day, and I'm frustrated with all the people that are taking from me, but I'm the one that keeps giving. So understand your limitations and communicate effectively. I would love to engage with you on that. Unfortunately, at this time, great answer to anyone asking you to do something that's going to create overwhelm for you. So, number one, stop trying to be everything to everyone. Number two, get clear on your priorities. Sometimes we are all over the place and we don't really know what we're working toward, or we know what we're working towards, but we don't know how everything aligns with it. Once you're clear about your priorities, then you can evaluate how does this either move my priority closer to completion or distract me from completing it. And once you can do those two things, the overwhelm starts to subside for I would say, for the majority of people. And I know it has for me and for my clients. So one of the most powerful words in the human language is no.
How's it spelled?
N-O.
Oh, it's not on, it's no.
No is a
Stop. I cannot do.
Yes.
Out. Yes.
What I've learned in my career is that no has to be a complete sentence for some people, because they will talk you out of your no if you keep talking to them. So being able to say no at this time, that's not going to work for me.
No, at this time, this is not going to work for me.
Exactly.
Beautiful. It's diplomatic, it's polite, it's still actually saying we can talk about it another time, but right now, this is my final say. This is the end of the conversation. Really. And so tell me, what are some of the limiting beliefs, or what is keeping people, because what you're saying is obvious, right? And, Andrea says, yes, of course, so true. But what is keeping people from actually being everything for everyone? Well, what is holding them in that pattern, I should say?
So I'll ask the group. So give me a couple of things, because I have it in my head, but I want people to get clear on why they do it. So someone, would you tell us, just one or two people put in the chat, why you try to be everything to everyone and get so overwhelmed?
Well, I know for myself, when I'm in that situation, Marion, it's really the repercussions of the rejection. It's the fear of rejection definitely coming through. Yeah. I'm not sure if anybody can relate to that, but yeah, that's definitely what's coming up.
Yeah. Did anyone else put anything in? Because that's definitely true, what you just said.
Yeah, people are being quiet on the chat. Guys, put your answers in the chat.
I'll pull the cat out of the bag. So it's the fear of someone not liking us, someone saying something negative about us, right? So that fear of not being viewed as that super person, because if you're on this webinar, you're probably a type A personality person, like we all are, and we always want to exceed expectations, and we never want to disappoint anyone.
Yeah, so we've got people saying in the chat box, trying to be everybody's darling and making everybody happy. Spot on. Yeah.
Yes. And so what you have to do is you have to be okay.
Fear of disappointing.
Yeah. Disappointing people. So that's the thing. So you have to be okay with some people not being okay with you.
That's right.
You have to learn that. And what you have to also do is you have to be able to have conversations with people around your humanism, right? You're a human being. You're not a machine. So being able to say, I can't do this at this time. And some people are going to get upset with you. And some people are not going to want to be your friend anymore. Or some family members might not want to speak to you. And what I say is, if me taking care of me creates a situation where you don't want to deal with me anymore, then you had no interest in what's best for me or best for us. It was all about you. So I'm okay with losing some of those relationships.
Yeah, Neil is saying as well, fear is what keeps most people stuck. So
exactly. So in the other thing you can really evaluate if you have someone, and this is a real test of the people that you're dealing with in your life. If you have someone that's requesting something that's going to be a big overwhelm. Now, what we said previously, a lot of the time we don't even tell people. We just get mad at them because they've overwhelmed us, but we've never told them our situation. Right?
Yeah.
Does that resonate? So
absolutely, yes.
First, you have to communicate, and then in a very appropriate way. But then when you say, okay, I can't do that right now because I have these things going on and I really need to focus on X, Y, Z. And the person gets angry and says, oh, you're too good for me now. Oh, they put the guilt trip and all those things on you. Red flag that that's someone that might not need to be on your bus.
Yeah. Stop, get off. Next. Yeah, so true. People are saying in the chat box. Yeah.
Yes, and this is the great thing about the bus. And this is what I talk to my clients about, is we have limited seats on our emotional and our spiritual bus. Limited seats on the bus. And sometimes we have people that are sitting on the bus that shouldn't be there. We know they shouldn't be there.
Get off.
But they're an old friend or they're connected to this person. And we leave them on the bus. And guess what? The bus doesn't stop at the stops it's supposed to or needs to for the people you need to get on the bus because you're unwilling to let some other people get off.
So what's a really nice way to politely say to somebody, please get up. We need to make room. The next stop is yours.
So what I love the question, because you don't have to be overt. You don't have to unfriend everyone or say, get off of my bus. What you have to do is you have to have those conversations. If they're bringing negative energy into your life, there's a lot of research that shows that the people you spend the most time with, the 5 people you spend the most time with, your average annual income will be the average of theirs. So it's not all about money. It's about surrounding yourself with people that have a success mindset. That's why I encourage people to hang around people like Katya and Elise. These are the people that are in my circle, because it's not about money. It's about having a success mindset that brings money to you, and success, and a global impact for the people that you want to impact in a positive way. So the top 5, be careful of who's in your circle around your top 5. But back to your question. You have a conversation with them and say, this is the way I like to do it. Say, I'd like to talk to you about X, whatever is going on. And I'm not saying that this was your intention, but this is the impact that it had on me. So you want to be a little vulnerable. When you do X, it makes me feel disappointed, discounted, frustrated, disrespected, whatever it is. And what I would like is, in the future, for you to do X, Y, and Z. How do you see it? And now you've given them a chance to respond, but you've told them clearly, when you do this, I feel this, and what I would like is this. Very direct.
Very direct and very clear, and very powerful communication, Marion. So we really want to we've got 11 minutes left on our webinar. Time is just flying by. So much value, Marion. So to sum up, overwhelm, can you just sum up the 3 key points that you really said, what people should do?
So number 1, be okay with telling people that you can't do everything. So being direct, being upfront, and being okay with some people not being happy with you. You can't please everyone, and everyone that you're pleasing is not going to lead you to the success that you have. So that's number 1. Number 2, if you're feeling overwhelmed, communicate it. Communicate. Tell people. Let me tell you, Katya, we make up all these stories in our heads around what people are doing, why they're doing it. And sometimes when you finally
absolutely,
are you joking? That was what I was thinking. So be okay with some people not being happy with you, and have conversations. When you do X, I feel Y, and what I would like is Z. Most of the time people be like, I had no idea that that's how you felt. So be careful of the stories that we're telling ourselves about other people as well as ourselves. And then get clear. Be very clear on your priorities. Be clear on your priorities, and then evaluate everything that you're doing to see if it's moving that priority forward or is it pulling it backwards. Those are the 3 things you have to do.
I love that, Marion. Really great advice. I got so much value out of this conversation. I'm sure everybody in the audience has as well. Give us some love if you've got some value out of this. This is so impactful work that you're doing, Marion. And there's so much more. We could have, with every single topic, I could have asked 20 more questions, and I'm sure everybody in the audience as well. So, lastly, I want to deliver on the amazing promise that we have. We've generated, and we've been even speaking this morning in Sydney. I got up at 5 to speak with Marion about what are we going to offer them. So obviously we have a special offer for you guys to be with Marion, to really hone in on your promotions, on dealing with overwhelm, on anything that you'd like to deal with in your career. And yes, we've got people saying thank you so very much, got so much value from this. So amazing. Just imagine what 10 coaching sessions could do for you one-on-one with Marion, really being specific, focusing on your goals, on what you want. Tell us a little bit about your coaching sessions, Marion.
So they're all one-on-one, and I do them face-to-face if possible, or we do them remotely because I have clients all over the country. And we basically sit down and get clear because you can probably tell I'm all about being clear about what our intentions are and what our objectives are. And then we build a plan around it. And I work as the thought partner with you. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm helping you get clear on what you're doing and how it's either moving you forward or holding you back. And then I use my years of experience as well as all of my coaching tools and techniques to help you succeed. The greatest joy I get is when one of my clients gets that promotion, jumps over that hurdle that they've been having for years because
pop the champagne.
Yes, exactly. So that's how the sessions work. And then we set the agenda each time. And sometimes what I'm thinking we should do, you've had a situation at work and you want to go in a different direction. So you craft the agenda, but it's all about moving you forward and towards your objectives, but helping you get clear around where you want to go, what's holding you back, and then we create action plans on how to overcome it.
Love it. So these 10 coaching sessions are valued at $9,997. But obviously we have a special offer for you, and it's not only going to include these 10 coaching sessions. No, we have so much more for you. We're really rewarding the people who want to take their career. Marion, you told me before you love helping people, getting them from A to B gives you the most joy, really getting them to succeed in their lives. So the people who have stayed to the end really have proven to us, yes, I'm keen, I'm there. So you will also get a copy of Marion's free book in our special offer. And we're not stopping there. No, Marion has generously said, not only will you get the coaching sessions, the book, he will also get on another call to discuss the outcomes of the book. Sorry, Marion, a mentoring session. Tell us a little bit about what you do with clients to really get clear on what they don't know is hurting them.
So yes, so after you've read the book, then I have 2 sessions with you where we really just focus on the content of the book. And I will say for my career and for everyone that I coach and my mentees, anytime you're stuck or anytime you're faced with a new opportunity, where you need to focus is in one of these 4 categories. So I like to have those conversations. It's not necessarily a coaching session. It's a mentoring session where we really dig into the 4 and help you to be prepared. Because it might not be right now something you're dealing with, but it will be something in the future. And I want you to be clear and have a resource to go to so you're never stuck. You always have options.
Very true. And Marion, as I just said, has generously, and it's just for today, just for the people who have stayed on to the end, the total value of this comes way over $10,000, as you can see. And before I tell you the price that Marion has generously agreed to give this package away today, I want you to think to yourself, what are you currently dealing with? And what difference could Marion really make in your life? What if we just changed one aspect of today? If you could really go to your boss tomorrow, get that pay rise, if you could get rid of that undermining manager, outsmart him with Marion's pathways of reaching out to the bigger environment, making sure that your own energy is intact, how would your personal life change if you had satisfaction at work? I mean, it goes on and on and on. But yes, I've got people saying, tell us the price. So we have generously said we will give this amazing package away for you. Of course, it's priceless to get that freedom in your life. But everything you can get today for $4,250 US. Everything is in US. Or you do a monthly payment plan. Marion has agreed to that as well. We want to make it affordable for you. You can get 3 monthly payments of $1,500. And here are the links for the payment, one-off payment, and for the 3-month payment plan. So Marion, whilst I just get those links and copy them into the chat, do you want to tell people some final words, some real big takeaways, anything that you'd like to leave them with, some empowering words on why they should really sign up, take action now, and let them know they're worth it to take their careers to the next levels and their lives.
Well, first of all, Katya, I just want to say thank you so much for this opportunity. I've had an amazing time. I think the world of you, and you are a true superstar. So thank you for the opportunity to speak to the audience that you created for us today. The thing that I would like people to remember as we leave is this. Every day, you have an opportunity to be better than you were the day before, to make better decisions, to have a broader impact than you did the day before. Every day we have an opportunity to be better than we were the day before. My challenge to you is, what are you going to do with your opportunity?
Beautiful summing up words. I'm just typing in the code into our chat box because unfortunately technology doesn't let me copy it. So guys, here is the one-off payment for you. So follow that link and you'll access Marion's one payment of $4,250. And as I said, you also have the monthly payment plan. If you have any questions, please get in contact with us at info@viveka.world. You can see the address here. You can go to our website, viveka.world. We update human thought. Where Marion, thank you. And, we've got people in the audience saying thank you so much. It was such an amazing time with you. You've given so much value. You are such a leader. You're such an inspiration, such a clear man. I love speaking with you. I really think the world of you as well. And it's been great. Guys, thank you. Yes, we've got a lot of thank you notes and people have taken lots of notes and to become a better version of myself. And so thank you, Marion. People in the chat box. Tomorrow we have Elise. So if you got some value out of today, please join us for tomorrow, same time, and we'll have a wonderful session with Elise McConnell. She is a fascinating corporate executive coach with over 20 years experience, ICF certified, a global leader. She's worked for companies like Accenture, M&A, Dayton, and has some really great insights for you. Again, people, please put your hands together for Marion today. He's given us so much value, so much insight. And once again, I'm going to put the offer up here for you. And thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. I really enjoyed being with you today.
All righty. Thank you, Marion.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.